Greetings, fellow mortals. I'm Bill, and along with my partner David L. Weaver, we are the XP Guild. And today, I want to show you guys how to make a custom video backdrop for your Zoom, or you could throw it in your OBS as well. Any of your virtual backdrop things. Let's find out good ways to make everything look as exciting as we can. A lot of us stream. I'm guilty of the old school Google Hangouts where you have like the lower third part or whatever, and you just have your name and class, but let's spice that up. And I want to do it totally free way. So stick in here. We'll be right back to jump into the tutorial. Alright guys, welcome back. Like I said, totally free, easy to do. It does take a little bit of a computer in order to manage the free software that I use. You may have other software similar. Today I'm going to be using DaVinci Resolve along with a couple of other free platform ways. So you're going to need character art and a video file that you want for your backdrop. I use Pixabay, and just get this out of the way, I'm not sponsored by Pixabay, by DaVinci Resolve, by anything like that. So I use Pixabay, and I look through there, and I find some free stock video footage. It is free for commercial use as well, so there's not any copyright infringement issues that you're going to have to face. The other thing I'm going to use today is because we as the XP Guild have purchased a pro account for Hero Forge. Again, not sponsored or affiliated in any way. We just use their amazing software to design 3D models, and we export that in a portrait mode that we can then use into this. So you kind of want to get your character art with your character isolated as best you can to do this. So let's jump more into this tutorial and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here we have DaVinci Resolve. This is like I said, totally free to download, the basic version of it, but to tell you the truth, almost everything you're gonna need or want will be free and easy to do. All I've done here is to save on a little bit of the time and a little bit of the lineup of everything is I have preloaded my video files. So what I did is I found this video file here with this waterfall footage. I'm going to be playing in a game in a couple of weeks here with Rory over at Absolute Tabletop Community. He has Unnamed Productions. Go check him out. He's going to be running a 5th edition game. So I loved this one. We're going to be playing kind of like Robin Hood sort of guys. Hiding in the forest, rebels against an invading army. So I liked this image, thought it of as possible river that runs through this forest that we're supposed to be using as our kind of hideout base. So very simple, nice, easy, done. So what I do want to do is I want to pick a certain period of time. This goes for 40 something seconds, and this will be looping in the backdrop. So I don't quite think I need 40 seconds. I think maybe a 30 second or so. That's 29, here's 30 right there. So I'm gonna find the spot that I want in this video, and I want it to hit right at 30 seconds. So I'm going to delete everything after that. You just click on it. You can use in DaVinci Resolve, you can hit B to collect your snip tool, which turns this little razor blade that you can see here. Pick the spot in the video, and once you click, it's going to make a line. And then you can click A, or you can go up here to the pointer or the razor blade. If you have a Mac, it might be different. Then you can select it, and then you could hit delete. But I don't want to delete that part. So now I've got my 30-second video. The next thing we want to do is take our character image here, and we're going to put that on top. So it just puts it in for a certain amount of time. Easy enough. You grab the edge, and we're just going to drag this all the way till it matches the end of our video. I also work pretty much all in this kind of edit tab right here. Oh, it's hard to see with the social information here, so let me make that smaller here. So yeah, this edit tab right kind of down here at the bottom, underneath everything. Alright, so now my character image art is as long as my video. So that part is good, but now he's in the middle, and that's no good, because my face has got to go somewhere. So we're going to scoot him over. I like him on the right side, just because over here on the left, we've got a lot of things going on. He kind of gets in the way of that waterfall. So we're going to kind of scoot him over here. And it's just as simple as going this X position and dragging it. You could shrink him, or put them back to 1. And you can even kind of animate everything so that it moves during it. Now, we don't want to get too distracting because this is going to be a backdrop for our character art. So I'm just going to move him over there. I like his position there. He takes up a big chunk of the right side of the screen. And that way I can adjust everything in-game so that I am framed and he is kind of behind me to my right, and then I'm going to add in some text. So you could do a very simple just text box, but it comes loaded with all these sample title options. And I've gone through and I kind of liked this one because it's got 3 lines, and what I wanted to do on this one is have my name, my channel information, just simple, and also my character class, the character name as well. So we're going to go back here. Now, see, if you go to the very beginning, it doesn't come in till later on. So we're going to stop, and the object is I want to be able to see what I'm typing. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to go in here to the top line, and I'm going to put my name, and I'm going to put my channel information. I don't want to be overpowering here because I am going to be on someone else's stream. But as you see, this is kind of hard to read. So what I want to do is I also want to see its final position. I don't want it smack dab in the middle because that's where my head's going to be. So I want it to be kind of up above where my head would land. So I kind of like this spot up here in the trees. But now, as you see, you can't see my name at all. So a couple things. We're going to go in and pick a new color. Something that may stand out. Now, the font, I feel, is a little bit crunched there. So I kind of liked this Rockwell build for it. It's got bold enough that you can see without being crazy. I do like the white there. So I'm going to scroll down, and in this next headline section, I'm going to type my character name. And because I'm playing kind of a tribesman, I've come up with this ridiculous tribe name here. And now, so we've got these issues here of where it's landing. As you can see, it now has taken up the spot. So again, we can use these X and Y options to reposition the name so it falls exactly where we want it to fall. Last but not least, I want to let everyone know that this is a Way of Mercy monk, level 5. But now we look in this area where the waterfall is, and we're kind of losing the Way of Mercy. Now I had left this middle one as open sands. I thought it worked there. I didn't want to get too crazy, bold enough. But now at this bottom, I think let's go back to the Rockwell. And that looks better. The blue, though, might be an issue. So I'm going to go with, let's try like a bright yellow or something. Okay, that stands out better. For the purposes of the tutorial, I don't want to get too crazy on that. We kind of want it to be here, and maybe even just a smidge smaller. We don't want it to take up too much of the screen. And that is pretty much all you have to do. So we can go back to the beginning, and we can hit play, and as you can see, it animates in. Everything comes in. Now it's going to hold there for a majority of the video. And then as we get to the end, I've got a cocktail here, so if you're going, please enjoy. When you get to the end here, now we're going to speed it up just a little bit because it is 30 seconds. I don't want to waste the time just watching it. As you get to the very end, it's going to split out. And then if that loops, then it's going to come back in within a second or two to the start of the video and run over. So it's that simple to make this cool video tutorial, like video backdrop, where you've got a moving animated scene that's going to be behind you. You're going to have your character art, you're going to have your name, your character's name, and your class there. You could throw in somewhere in there passive perception, anything like that. You can also add as many layers of text or video as you like. I will do further tutorials, show you some of my builds. I did a pretty awesome video build where I had like 12 layers of video for one of my final game sessions in my last campaign. I will be going through more of those, but I thought this is a good, simple way to get you into this program, get you used to how to manipulate things, and go from there. So here, there's no audio on it, nothing to distract. So now all we have to do is form this into one final video. So we're going to go to this little rocket ship at the end, and it's going to have everything laid out. The other thing I do want to tell you is using save, Control S, often in this is very important. The first time you do it, it's going to ask you for a name for your video. I had pre-saved the videos just to make sure everything was ready for this tutorial, but save it often because it is a labor-intensive program on your computer and it crashes from time to time based on the performance of your computer. I'm doing this on a laptop. Granted, it is a laptop designed for gaming, for video editing. I did some research on trying to find a good one. So either way, you pick your file name and your location. In this case, I've got it in my D&D folder, and for this specific tutorial. Then we're going to go down here. You can change your resolution if you need to. 1920 by 1080 is good. Now, the default on this is normally 80,000, which is really crazy big. You don't need that great a quality. And I just chose this number based on a tutorial I found on overall video editing. So I chose 30,000 kilobytes per second. That's good. I don't really change anything else. And then I'm going to tell it to add to the render queue. And because I had already saved this, it's going to ask me if I want to do this. But yes, we do. And then it's going to be up here, and you're going to click Render All. This will then take a period of probably 30 seconds or so to pop this up here. Now, I took the liberty of kind of doing this ahead of time because, you know, this is my first run on these tutorials, and I wasn't sure either how verbose I would be or how well the video rendering would be, or whether the whole program would crash midstream. So what I wanted to show you is what this would look like just with the video part all rendered, all put together, and this is on a loop. So here we go. We've got our monk, we've got our class. Now what I like to do when I do this just for an OBS backdrop is then I bring in my video capture device. So here I am now in the middle, framed in a position that I would like it to be. And then I'm going to bring in a frame to put on top of that. I just like separating myself from the image around me. And as you can see, it just looped there. Exited, came back in. It kind of draws back attention to your name and everything, but without being too crazy and over the top. So this would be like an OBS overlay look to how it would be. Now, if you were going to go into Zoom, and because OBS and Zoom fight for this my particular video setup that I've done is I took a screenshot of what it would look like on Zoom. So here is a horrible picture of me with my information in the backdrop here, with how my head would situate and how everything goes, using this as a virtual background. With Zoom, that's a very simple thing to do. If you don't know, you go to the little up arrow next to your video options on Zoom, and then you tell it that you'd like to add your own video virtual backdrop, and it'll add this in, and everything in the background will be moving, will be flowing, just like in the this video final look, except for instead of the box and everything, it would just be my head there. I like that style for my own games, because then I can, as the DM or the designer, I design frames that I'm going to then put everybody into. I'm going to slot them into a certain spot in my video and have everything arranged. So you could even, as a DM, perhaps do this for all of your players. That means everyone would have uniform design. Everyone would have a very similar and aesthetically pleasing look on your videos. So when you stream live to Twitch, or you stream your shows later to YouTube, then everybody looks good in that frame, in however you designed it to be. I've done a few where we took just static backdrop shots and we gave it to the players to put in their backdrops. They fit into the frame that we've done, and I will go over more of these in the future for OBS, for DaVinci Resolve, and of course all these DaVinci Resolve things. Transfer that into whatever video editing system you are comfortable with. This is just, because it is free, again, free for much of us gamers. That's important, because all the other things can be expensive. The books can add up, the terrain, all that stuff that we get into, the computers that we use, the Zoom, if you're using a Zoom subscription, all those things can cost money, they add up. Let's try to cut out the extra expenses that don't add a lot in direct, like game content wise, but add a lot in your video content looks. Take this, use it for, I mean, I wouldn't obviously do character art and stuff, but you could have a business meeting, you could have a nice, professional backdrop while you're sitting there at home. You can find a video or a picture of like an office setting behind you, or a conference room, and you can have your name overlaid on top. That I would just use like GIMP or Photoshop for. But take these and use it to kind of step up your game, step up the way everything looks. So that's about it. I would like to say thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Please check us out on our social media links. Please check us out at Twitch for a live stream. Dave's Doodles will be live every Tuesday. Dave goes up with some doodles where he uses programs like Dungeon Draft to create maps, and perhaps in the future other things. But he's currently been working on this city that we used in one of our games and mapping that out, showing you how he takes that program and can make these really awesome detailed D&D maps, fairly inexpensive in the one-time purchase of the program. Other than that, like I said, like and subscribe. Please comment if there's anything you would like a tutorial on or like us to build. I've done some character builds. I will probably do a character build for this guy, show you how I came up with his stats, how I decided it. I kind of based him off of Baron Samedi from the Bond movies, and kind of went from there to fit him into a 5e setting. And so we're going to go over that sort of thing. Please let us know what it is you'd be excited to see and what it is that you enjoy, or any comments on how to improve what we've done. Thank you very much, everyone. Please join us. Let's all gain our XP and level up.